Joe, you were on Joe, I want to say 13 or 14. I don't know what it was. It was when you guys were on. That was fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a while back.
Yeah.
6, 7 years.
And by the way, there was a lot of admiration both sides when you guys were talking, because he was like, you know, the coming up, and that was before he was getting the 11 million an episode a week or whatever it was. And you were like King Kong, you know, when you guys sat down together. But you made a comment. You said, you know, if Joe's something, I'd kick his ass. I'm taking it out of context. Of course, I'm assuming you were just kidding. You were upset about what he said. Can you unpack that exchange? The comments you made about Rogan.
Yeah, so I like Joe a lot. And we even grabbed lunch. We were friendly. I was thinking of, I even pitched him to be a host on a show we'd pitch to cable or networks, etc. Okay. And I like Joe's independent attitude a ton, right? Or what used to be an independent attitude, right? Nowadays, I think he's lost his way. So I think he got captured by the right wing. He doesn't even realize it. Almost all of his guests are right wing or fake left wingers who are pushing for right wing agenda. And so, he's surrounded himself with
again, Cenk, Joe Rogan, right winger. Are you smoking something? Where are you at? Are you in California with Value Entertainment? I don't know where this is coming from, but that Joe Rogan is right wing. Okay, he's a right winger. Unbelievable. You must be absolutely punch drunk. Anyways, let's continue.
A wall of right wingers, and he's created a bubble. Bill Maher's the same way. A wall of right wingers. All their friends are right wing, right? And
Bill Maher's a freaking right winger. I don't know how people take you seriously. This is Cenk, I guess it's Uygur or Uygur, I don't know, of the Young Turks, which I affectionately like to call the Yellow Turkeys or the Young Jerks. I mean, I can't even say it. Joe Rogan, big right winger conservative. Bill Maher, right winger conservative. Okay, Cenk. Let's continue.
And so now he's not independent. He doesn't do both sides. He doesn't have real.
You think he's a right wing?
Yeah, of course.
You think Joe's right wing?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and so is he
right of where though, Jake?
No, do I think he's right?
Right
wing?
of center or right of you?
No, right of center. Okay, but
Rogan.
Okay,
and Bill
so
Maher too. You're saying?
Again, it depends on the issues. So you can take an issue that Bill Maher is super liberal on and go, "Come on, you can't call him right wing, right?" But I could show you 10 issues where he's just obsessed with cancel culture and only from the left wing perspective, not the right wing perspective. He loves, by the way, Bill Maher loves corporate Democrats. Okay, just loves them to pieces. So to me, on economic issues, he's same issues as all those corporate Democrats. Anyways, so Joe, it's a matter of emphasis. So I hear that he's pro-choice, but does he ever talk about that?
Yes.
Almost never, right? But on any right-wing issues, oh my God, trans rights, this, that, the other thing, he's like super animated about, right? Whenever it's a right-wing issue, he will spend hours and hours.
Why is anything about transgenderism, okay, transphobia, why is it always like a right-wing issue? The only reason why we discuss that is because the left, the liberals, the leftists, academia, Hollywood hypocrites, progressives, all of you folks out there, you continue to basically shove it into our face and say, you better comply, you better use pronouns, you better accept the fact that boys can become girls and men can become women and women can become men and girls can become boys and they can shower with, and men can shower with your daughters if you want, and they can go into your daughters and women's and your wives and your aunts and grandmother's bathrooms at any time that they want. They just shove it constantly, shove it in our face. That's why it becomes an issue for us. If you just allow it to live and let live, it would be perfectly fine. But no, you're not content with that. Don't tell me it's a freaking right-wing issue. Cenk.
Hours and hours discussing it. If he has left-wing positions, not a peep. There's a thing called audience capture, where your audience starts to go in a certain direction, it starts to build momentum. Then if you try to change, all of a sudden your audience numbers drop and people panic, okay? Now, Joe's already rich, so he doesn't have to worry too much about that. I think he got more guests captured than audience captured, but like guys like Jimmy Dore get audience captured like crazy. So once they, like Jimmy Dore used to be on the left, and he was doing, comedian, right? He was in our network, one of the worst mistakes I've ever made. And so,
Having him on?
yeah.
Okay.
And so he goes independent. Now he's, at one point he's doing pro-vaccine videos. He got a vaccine. They're not doing that well, right? Then he does one that's vaccine skeptical. It does great. Okay, so all right. Then he does another one that's vaccine skeptical because he wants the views, he wants the money, right? And so all of a sudden then next thing you know, he's on 20 videos against vaccines or vaccine skepticism because that's where the audience is going, that's where the money is going, and
That's where the knowledge is going. Hey, you know what? So what? He had a change of heart in his opinion. He decided to take a look at the facts. He decided to look at the evidence. He decided to look at the studies that were out there. Maybe he had a change of heart and he decides to go in that direction. So what? I would like to see a position that perhaps you were on, Cenk, and you decided to get the same type of views and whatever on your show by doing it. Don't tell me it's just Jimmy Dore. It happens on everyone. If you decide to change your mind on an issue and you go with it, you do it. Who the hell cares what Jimmy Dore's or Doers or whatever the hell his name is, what his reasons were. If he's doing the thing, let the people decide if they want to listen to it. Pro-vaccine, anti-vaccine, let them decide. Let the market take care of it.
And there was a progressive in our network who said, look, the same thing happened to me. I was criticizing Democrats so much from a left-wing position, but I was criticizing Democrats. And one day I woke up and I found out my audience is right-wing. Like I asked him a poll question. Holy cow, these guys are like 70% right-wing. So he's like, I had to make a principled choice there. And I did. And I cut off 70% of my audience. And I started talking more about my left-wing positions, not just anti-Democrat positions, right? So that's what happened. So on Rogan...
And that's probably why we don't hear of that guy anymore anyways, because he decided to do something stupid.
To your the specific question. So now I have animosity with Rogan, but yeah, I was largely trolling them. And I said it very clearly too, never in the streets, never any violence. Violence is crazy. But I was saying, if you want to step in the ring,
obviously, what would happen if you stepped in the ring. You're not naive.
So would Joe have a massive advantage? Obviously, look at me. I'm 52. I'm very overweight, etc. But by the way, I don't think it would be a foregone conclusion.
He doesn't think it'll be a foregone conclusion. Okay, I'm going to rewind that a little bit so that we can watch it in its entirety from where it starts to or whatever. But folks, okay, come on, okay, it's not a foregone conclusion that he would get the crap kicked out of him. This is Cenk Uygur. I think he's been smoking too much out there or imbibing in something. Who knows? But let's go back and let's rewind that a little bit and catch that again.
Obviously, look at me. I'm 52. I'm very overweight, etc. But by the way, I don't think it would be a foregone conclusion.
You think you could take Joe?
Okay. Now,
are you saying you could take Rogan?
Bro, one kick in the side, you'd be peeing blood for a week. Have you seen his kicks?
I've seen his kicks.
Peeing blood.
So listen.
I appreciate your confidence, though. I got to tell you.
No, but I'll tell you why I do it. Okay. So look, number one, I'm okay. A trained person is, of course, better, and by a lot, right? So, and a guy who's in shape is supposed to, a guy not in shape.
Here comes a spin.
So I would do tons of training, etc., and I'd still be a massive underdog, okay? But I'm a brawler, and so it's not just that I fought my whole life when I was growing up, etc. It's the will in you, right? So if he's going to beat me, he's going to have to beat me.
He will beat you, though.
Yeah, and that's fair. And that's a fair conclusion to reach.
He will beat you, though.
But my point is, I'm tired of people running over the left wing, okay? So if you're going to say we're weak, then fuck off and step in the ring, okay? So step in the ring ideologically. That is what I would greatly prefer. By the way, I did this with Michael Smirkonish a long time ago on the HuffPost, right? He's talking shit about, the wussification of America. And I was like, all right, bitch, then either get in the ring from a debate point of view or get in the octagon or whatever you want, right? Because you're saying we're wussies, and I'm saying I'll kick the shit out of you, okay? So you tell me, you know what Michael Smirkonish did? He ran like a bitch, okay? And he went and cried to mommy, and he said, "Oh my God, he's threatening me." No, I said, "Look, I would never do it in the streets. That's nuts." Okay, I'm 100% against violence, but you're not going to call us weak and get away with it. We're going to stand a goddamn post, and that's why the Young Turks are hated by the right wing, because we do not back down. We punch back. So the whole point there.
Listen, Cenk, it's not that you're okay. I don't hate you. All right, there's other people you might say that hate you or whatever. Okay, that's not the point. It's not about the hate. That's not why they hate you, because you guys punch back and you guys are so progressive with your ideas, and you're like right next to God when it comes to everything, all the policies and everything, and that you're so right on everything. No, the reason that they might not like you, the reason that we have difference of opinions, is because you guys are kind of delusional. You know what I'm saying? Let's just put it that way. I'll say it mildly. You're delusional. Now, there are some points on agreement. That's a whole different, another, video or whatever on some topics. I'm sure there are places that we can agree upon. But on a majority of issues, it's just that we have a different opinion. And I respect your opinion. I might not like it. I might, like I said, it's delusional, it's crazy, it's way out there, it's not part of the mainstream. Okay, and you may look at me and say, you're just a conservative, right-winger, supremacist, white, brown supremacist or whatever. I don't know, but I'm just saying that's not the reason because you guys punch back and that you guys are fighters. No.
Patrick, is rhetorical. I'm punching back rhetorically.
Yeah, but and by the way, that was how I took it.
Yes,
but that's not how the world took it. I'm sure you know that. There's a part of that was marketing. I get that, but let me go through a couple of these.
But I like triggering the right wing. I like them being, wait, man, we're tougher. Really, I don't think so.
Bro, I don't think if anybody.
By the way, Alex Jones rated my set. Right, I stood up, and all of a sudden he wasn't so fucking tough anymore. Right. So all these fake tough guys on the right wing.
Joe is not a fake tough guy, though, bro. Okay. I get what you're saying. But in regards to him being right wing, like that is the guy said he would vote for Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I thought you guys had found common ground on that.
He did, right? Yeah. And so that was like the last semblance of him being independent. Since then, he's gone completely in the other direction, 100% in the other direction. And by the way, he supported Trump. Trump's a lunatic. So, I mean, you can't say you're going to vote for
supported Trump.
He said that look, if I...
And Bernie's not a lunatic. He's not a liar. He's not delusional. He's not like 1,000 years old. Oh, I'm going to be doing... I am a socialist Democrat. Can't even do his imitation perfectly. But you're telling me that if Trump's a lunatic, then you're saying Bernie's a genius? Cenk. Look, I know your brain might be scrambled a little bit, but you haven't even fought Joe Rogan yet. And please, for crying out loud, for God's sakes, do not try. Your brain is already scrambled as it is. If you go into a ring with Joe Rogan, then you'll definitely have an excuse for opening up your mouth and putting out these delusional progressive policies that nobody wants. You have an excuse because you'll have battered head syndrome. You'll get a concussion. So we don't want you to get into a fight, okay? We want you to stay the way you are. That way, okay, we can react to you and say that it's nobody else's fault except your own for coming up with delusional, progressive, ridiculous, retarded ideas.
If I'm wrong, I'm happy to retract it. But my understanding was he said he doesn't like either option, but between Trump and Biden, he preferred Trump.
Oh, at the time. Okay. No, I think the way he said it, is he thinks Trump had a stronger way of dealing with things than Biden does. I don't think he said I would vote for Trump over Biden because
he could clarify. By the way, why doesn't he clarify? That's such an easy thing.
I think he does.
Tucker won't say whether he took the vaccine. Why don't you just say it? What's wrong with you, right?
Yeah.
Joe, well, who'd you vote for? What's the big deal? I mean, you do a show that's got politics.
It's nobody's freaking business. But if somebody wants to go ahead and say who they voted for, whether they got vaxxed or didn't get vaxxed, it's up to them. Okay, it's not. They don't have to tell you, Cenk. Okay, if you want to tell the world what you want to tell, go ahead. Be my guest. Free country, or so far still sort of is. Anyways, let's continue.
It's all over.
Yeah.
Well, why would you be afraid to say who you voted for?
And if I remember with Jimmy, somebody said it here as well, Vanessa Aponte. But by the way, Jimmy all of a sudden started showing up, and he had.
So, anyways, I just thought that was just a great, video that somebody had sent over, and I mean. Now, like I said, Cenk might have been doing that sort of tongue, but I think listen, you got to have a little bit of arrogance, a little bit of bravado or whatever. But like he did go back, but he said like, it in terms of, him and Joe getting into a ring, MMA, mixed martial arts or whatever. Look, I think it would be over within, I think 30 seconds. 30 seconds, it'd pretty much be over. You can train all you want, but you haven't trained for something like this all your life or whatever. So think what you want, Cenk. You're part of the Young Turks, the Young Turkeys, the Young Jerks. Anyways, we hope you appreciated us in terms of bringing this video to you. We love making it. And you're watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your guest host. My name is Dr. Nasir. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, and follow. Hit that notification bell. I'll leave you with my final thoughts, or my final thought, which is, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.